right, y'all, big news. My new stand-up special, Live and Alive, drops Friday, October 24th, right here on my YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We shot it at Comedy on State, Madison, Wisconsin. There were 2 sold-out shows. The crowds were unbelievable, and I'm telling you, honestly, it's my best work, all right? This special is special. I'm really proud of it. It's self-produced, it's self-funded, it's self-released, and straight from me to you the way it should be. And here's the best part. During the premiere, I'll be live in the YouTube comments with you guys, hanging out the whole time. I'll answer questions. I want to watch it all unfold in real time with you guys like we're there together that night, all right? So make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that reminder, and join me on release night. This one means a lot to me, and I would love to experience that first watch with you guys. Friday, October 24th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Live and Alive, right here on my YouTube. Subscribe now and don't miss it. I'm just trying to drift off and try not to die. My whole job is try not to die. And the person I miss the most is my daughter. I'm a single dad. My daughter's 7 at the time, and they won't let her visit. I've got one buddy sitting in there one night with me. He's got a couple girls, and he's like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, my daughter. And he's like, yeah. Just definitely don't be thinking about, like, graduation and her getting married or grand. Because I was like, oh, my God, I wasn't thinking about any of that at all. I'd certainly thought about things that I would miss, but I thought about things that were more current. Like, for example, I love to go fishing, and I take my daughter fishing all the time. And at the time, she hadn't caught her first fish. I want to catch my daughter's first fish with her. I don't want her mom's boyfriend doing that. Steve. Steve.
The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. Ryan Sickler here, ryansickler.com, and Ryan Sickler on all your social media. Thank you for watching this show. If you're watching this far already, drop a comment, help the algorithm out, all that good stuff. And if you got to have more, then listen to me. You got to have our Patreon. It's the HoneyDew with y'all, and it is this show with y'all. And I promise you, it is the best show on Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's been that since day one. There's hundreds of episodes of the wildest stories you've ever heard in your life. I promise you. I'm a person that puts on like a Dateline or something like that. I almost dropped the bomb there. We would have had to edit. And I'd much rather put this on and watch these stories over and over. It's so good. And if you or anyone you know has a story that has to be heard, submit it to honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to do your story. All right? That's it. That's the biz. You guys know what we do here. We highlight the lowlights. I always say that these are the stories behind the storytellers. I am very excited to have this guest back on the HoneyDew. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Stelling.
Hey.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, Beth Stelling.
Thanks for having me back. It's so good to be here again.
It's great to have you here, Beth Stelling.
Thank you.
You are genuinely one of my favorites.
Ditto.
And I love sitting here talking to you off the mic.
I know.
But now we're going to be on it. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into some stuff. But before we do, please plug everything you like. Tell them about your new special, all of it.
New short little special called The Landlord Special, which is about my landlords, my ex-landlords. It's on Veeps, July 2nd for a month. You can get it there forever. My website is bethstelling.com for all my tour dates. I have some dates in Toronto, Pittsburgh. Then I'm in Vermont, Rhode Island, North Carolina. I'm going to a couple places for the first time. Anyway, bethstelling.com.
What are you on Instagram, Beth Stelling?
Yep. And I have 2 specials on Netflix. I have an HBO Max special. And then, I don't know, there's YouTube crap, but some of it's my hell.
Did you ever call a special or anything the White Tisha Campbell, or is that just in your social headings? Did you ever do that?
I never called it that.
You know she does comedy. Have you two ever been at the same show?
No.
Dude, that would
a little
be
suspicious.
Hilarious.
No, I love her. I mean, she's such a great talent.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I actually haven't seen her at a show or
Gina
seen her
forever,
stand up,
yeah.
but yeah, she's the best. Such an amazing actor. No, it was like in a bit for a while, just because it really, as you know, it really happened. Because I was walking on Hollywood Boulevard and somebody was like, "Hey, you know who you look like?" And then I said, "Gina from Martin," and he goes, "Damn." But it all started with Brian Babylon, who was a Chicago comic who used to call me the White Tisha.
Oh, he's the one that actually said it?
He started
first?
it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I ever would have done that myself.
Well, I want to catch up with. No, you can't give yourself a nickname. You can't. If you did, I would. No, we'd be like, no, you're not. No. If somebody else says, you're like, oh,
I guess I see it.
Well, one of your last episodes was we got a little bit into growing up and your dad and the raccoons and all that.
Right.
But out there, you started to tell me a little more that we didn't get into.
Well, to your point of what you kind of said right at the intro, which is like there is the story behind the stand-up. Like there's certainly things that are too dark to be talking about on stage. I mean, you could argue nothing's too dark. You can make anything funny, but it is very difficult to make dark things funny. And I personally feel like it took me a long time to make certain things that have happened to me funny. And it was like such trial and tribulation. And honestly, there were times where I was like, I don't even know if this is good for me to try to make this funny. But with my dad, I haven't really. There's like, in the special, of course, people bring it up, talk about it. In my last Netflix special called If You Didn't Want Me Then, that's the hour special versus the half hour that's on there. I talk about my dad, my parents being divorced, my dad moving down to Orlando.
From where originally?
We were in Dayton, Ohio, which is where my mom is and where we grew up. But we would go down to Orlando because it was court ordered. And our visitations were me and my sisters going to visit my dad and his new wife. And one of the jokes in that special is he moved down there to be an actor, which is not where you go. And
not at all.
And but yeah, he ended up doing all kinds of odd jobs, and we would like go on car rides with him to do leads. I don't know if you remember that, where if you're checking out at a register, you would fill out a little lead and put it in a box to try to win something or put your business card in there. He was the one who like picked up all the leads, and I think it got paid per lead is what it was called.
So he never really had a career, it sounds like. He's more just job to job or hustling, or did he?
This is the part where you go.
And can I also ask one other question?
Yeah.
Why is he in Orlando, and why are you why do you have to go?
Because I guess custody. It was the part of the custody battle, and he
did want you to see you.
Yes,
at least. Okay.
very much.
So
yeah.
I see.
Well, my dad was always very effusive with love, probably over effusive, and took a lot of credit for things when we were little, and was very vocal about that. Like, I used to do this for you, and I used to do, I don't even know where to start, because in one way I want to say, he's struggled with mental illness, and at that time it was in the 80s and not really well addressed. There wasn't those commercials on TV that are like, "Are you sad?" With a little bouncing head.
Was he in the military or anything at all?
He was a teacher.
Okay.
So he grew up in Romney, West Virginia, and India. His dad, my grandpa, was a doctor and a missionary. So I think he grew up there until age 9 in Rentachentala, Andhra Pradesh. And so I grew up eating from my grandmother the most amazing Indian food.
You did?
Southern Indian food, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like a first grader in Ohio that's like, what's my favorite food?
Hey,
Rice
Gina
and curry.
over here eating Indian food. Man, you're all kinds of diverse for a white girl.
And so, yeah, I guess I'm just like, where to even start? It was when I was 3. I don't have a ton of memories. I remember some stuff from going over to my grandma's at that time, but...
And that's his mom?
That's his mom. She was in the Dayton area as well.
And was she good to you? Was she a good grandma?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, are you older or your sister?
I'm the youngest of 3 girls.
Oh, 3 girls.
Yeah.
Okay. You said the oldest then not dad's?
No, we're all from the same parents.
So why don't only 2 you have to go down?
No, all of us.
Oh, I did. Okay,
I think I said me and my 2 older sisters.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No.
I'm doing a bad job of taking you through this.
No, you're not. I'm just trying to figure out.
Yeah. So, okay, essentially the probably the darkest part of the story would be when we were young, my parents were having issues. My oldest sisters have their own memories of that because they're older than me, of fighting, of my dad struggling with mental illness, as in, manic episodes, a lot of purchases being made, a lot of crying. And at the time, there was a story that he was telling himself, which was that my mom was cheating on him. Also, my mom was never really made to feel very valuable because his dad was very traditional and religious. So my grandmother on my dad's side was really sort of in service to my grandpa. And she was lovely and such a great grandmother and very caring. But yeah, I don't know if she really had a ton of independence or autonomy. And so my mom often felt inadequate in that way. She was a music teacher. My dad was a gym teacher. They met in college in Ohio. And so they're married. They have their first 2 girls. My dad is struggling with mental illness. He's not really happy at his job as a teacher. My mom's doing her best with, 2 girls, me on the way, also teaching. And eventually he made a plan to kill my mom and kidnap us because his parents, during that time of him going through so much, just left town and moved to Orlando. So they kind of bounced.
Oh, so his parents bounced on him during his mental episodes.
Yes.
I see.
And his dad was very judgmental of my mom.
But they're grandparents already at this point because your sisters are born and you're on the way.
Yeah.
And they still bounced.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty chaotic with my dad and he had troubles for many years. Even in college, I think his dad got him out of certain things. And my grandpa on that side, I do believe is evil. Like, I think he did a lot of things that were really bad in the name of also, like I don't know. I would argue that probably being a missionary and going to India and I don't know how it worked, but I understand the intention would be good to bring people the healthcare in small towns, but also under the terms of, making Jesus your Lord. I don't know how good that is.
Y'all want healthcare?
Yeah. Oh,
this book right here.
Just flip through that, fill it out.
Believe it. Believe everything it says. Yeah.
So yeah, he was very judgmental of my mom. I just, kids can pick up a sense, and I don't know. I was never really close with him.
No doubt.
He was very supportive of getting my dad out of things that maybe he shouldn't have been getting out of. He would prescribe him pills to his own son.
Oh shit.
Again, I don't think he was giving him the proper medication for manic depression or bipolar at the time. So that created even more chaos at home. And
how old was your dad at this time? Is he in his 20s, 30s at this point, you think?
If he was born in 50s, 30s.
30s.
Yeah. And
he's still a young man, I mean.
Yeah. And my mom and him are about the same age. Also, when I was little, I found him because he tried to kill himself several times. So with some of those pills that my grandpa was prescribing him.
How old are you?
I'm 3. And I don't really remember that exactly, But
they told you
my mom did tell me that I did, at one point in time did save his life. I do remember going to the hospital because we would go to Kroger and get a fruit basket, that cellophane. Like I have memories of certain things and take that to the hospital. So we visited him. But yeah, my mom said she just heard my little coming up the stairs and I pulled on her and I said, Dad. And then she went down to the kitchen and found him and was able to get him to the hospital in time. But he had tried to kill himself.
Multiple times he's tried to do something like that.
Yeah, so I think that was, And also there's some stuff that's it's just, there's so much, right? I'm just but I can only say really my side of it. I know more now about what my sisters experienced, that there was arguing or that he was crying a lot in their beds. That was very uncomfortable, coming and just laying in there. And
you're a father figure. You're the person that makes you...
Yeah.
That doesn't make you feel safe.
No.
Doesn't make you feel... That would scare the fuck out of me.
Right. Big purchases.
But here's the other thing. I want to say this because I hear your heart and I hear you making excuses for him. And I want to say this because I'll be the person that says this. I know we all worry about mental health for other people and everything. But what does go often overlooked is, look, at some point it becomes listen, I'm a teacher. I've got 3 kids here. I can't do this. And it becomes this cold thing where it's we got to let you go.
Yeah.
It sounds like his parents maybe even, Matt's a little different story. You're also prescribing your son and you might feel some guilt. You fucked that up too.
Right.
But for a mom with 3 kids, it's listen, I'm trying to love you here, bro. And we're trying to do everything we can, but I've got these 3 kids, this job. You just keep trying to kill yourself. Nobody really talks about the toll it takes on the people who are trying to help the people that need the fucking help.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying and everything, but there's only so many excuses you can make for somebody before they have to, take
and she was also dealing with his own judgmants from him and his family.
Right.
Like that she's not a good wife. She doesn't cook enough.
Yeah.
She's not. He was basically always telling her to lose weight. My mom actually never was a bigger person. Not like that would be bad if she was, but my mom never was fat. But he was always trying to get her to work out and sort of making her feel insecure about those things.
Was he doing those things?
So during that time as a gym teacher, he was like talking about how unhappy he was. And so she was actually supportive of him quitting the job. And he got a job at the local gym at Moore's Nautilus and was being a trainer there. She's trying to be as supportive as she could of that. And to your point of, she had my aunts and uncles on my mom's side were trying to be helpful and supportive because she's like you're saying, dealing with a man who's crying, and then he's going off and buying a Jeep and taking the girls around it in the front seat, and like a lot of kind of, wild things and behavior. And my mom had to pick up another job at the church. She was directing the primary choir, which is little kids choir.
I'm going to say this. This sounds like Florida behavior. He was destined. He was destined for
make
Florida.
His way down, yeah.
He was destined for Florida, girl.
So my mom's getting these extra jobs to work at the church, and there was a guy who was working at the church that I'm sure took a liking to my mom. I'm sure had a crush on her. He's married as well. But my mom was taking comfort in him being a friend. She felt like he was somebody she could talk to. It's a church. So he's the choir director or musical director there. And they did become friends. And my mom explained to me that she did feel like it was somebody she could confide in, feel safe in as a sounding board. Well, that's the person my dad felt my mom was cheating on. Mm-hmm. And when my dad tried to kill himself one time, he even visited the hospital, so did their mutual friends. My mom reminded me that I didn't know this, of course, I was young, that I guess when that guy came, my dad's dad was very upset that he came to visit because he's believing my dad's story, which is not really based in reality. The kicker is my mom did 6 years later marry that guy.
Oh.
So that made it that sort of fortified my dad's belief.
Yep. All along I knew I was right.
Yeah. But also I trust my mom. I believe my mom. And it wouldn't matter if she cheated or not. She doesn't deserve to be murdered. But she didn't, And again, I'm sure that there were feelings there or something. But my mom actually so I don't even know if I said that yet.
You didn't.
Okay. So
I'm like, hold on, you just dropped murdered in
Sorry.
there.
Yeah.
It was,
I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of explaining everything.
No, you just mentioned that they split. You go to Florida court order, but you don't say why.
The reason I think I'm telling you all this stuff is because the night that happened, my sister's old enough to.
What happened? We're still talking about the suicide attempt?
No. This is the night my dad did. Basically, his plan was to kill my mom because he wanted to move to Florida and take us down there. And my mom said, our life is here. I don't want to move there. And he said, well, then I guess we'll have to get a divorce. And she said, okay, And then that's when he basically tried to kill her in her sleep.
What did he do? What was the plan?
It was to kill her and then kidnap us and drive us down to Orlando. And my sister heard everything.
Heard it? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know if I really want to say the details.
Fine. Yeah. Did she overhear a call? I mean, how did she hear it?
He was, he basically broke her skull and tried to suffocate her.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
So my mom was in the hospital for 3 months.
Your sister witnessed.
Yeah. And then had my dad call 911. So 911 was at our house. That's something that's like a memory that for me as a first grader, I drew, in class, I drew a stretcher with blood coming off of it.
You did?
Yeah, because the thing was, though, if the memory serves me right, and again, this is me as a 3-year-old.
Also, the memory is the memory.
Yeah.
That's what you processed.
Well, my mom was, because we had such a small house, my mom was, they couldn't get a stretcher to turn, so they had her head wrapped, and because her skull was broken, and we're taking her in a wheelchair down our stairs. I remember that. Or at least I think I do. Mm-hmm. And, so in those following days, my mom's sisters came and cleaned up the house, and we moved in with our grandparents, my mom's grandparents.
Well, is your dad arrested at this point?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For obviously, is it attempted murder?
Yes.
Is that what they do give him? How in the fuck is any judge sending kids to this man?
Well, that's kind of the point where I get to my grandpa and how I do feel like he is evil. And a lot of the men on that side of the family are not great people.
Mm-hmm.
Because with money and power, he was able to help my dad out, I think get the best lawyers. Also, my mom didn't press charges and she didn't serve divorce papers. That's kind of like the whole point. My mom was always very supportive of him getting the help he needed. She was, I'm not saying she was like, I really want to be with this guy, but she wasn't the one and wasn't really planning. She wanted to get him the help he needed.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad served the divorce papers. His dad was very helpful.
You say he tore him up?
No.
Oh, he served him?
Yeah, my dad served my mom.
He served her.
Yeah. So his story is not based in reality. And I think that some of his sisters were, of course, on his side in a lot of ways.
Even after putting physical hands on your mom?
I think his sisters never really liked my mom.
But I mean, good God, who wants to see? So listen, he really did try to kill your mom. You're talking about a skull fracture, maybe one or two more hits. It could have been death.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're very lucky that my mom is okay. Like, I don't know. My life would never be the same.
Do you know?
I always thought it was 3 months. But again, in your time as a kid, and I think my mom might have said it would have been as she was healing. I was away from my mom as a 3-year-old and we had to live with our grandparents, who I love. They've passed.
Her parents for
this? But they were
okay.
very like my dad or my mom's grandpa was like a World War II vet, and he never saw combat. He was in the Aleutian Islands, but very strict, lived through the Depression. Like, so it wasn't exactly like, it felt like that's sort of like, in fact, a bit of the genesis of my OCD is I felt like I couldn't really mess anything up or touch anything. And I didn't really feel safe without my mom. But again, they're good people and we were safe and cared for. But my grandpa was very strict. So that's just sort of like, it was like a traumatic time away from my mom at that age.
Yeah.
And we had to be in such like a rigid system, like,
It's also a scary time. She's not gone for work somewhere for a few months. We know she's in the hospital.
And my sisters know more than me because they can process it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were 9 and 7.
I was going to say, okay, 9, 7, right? 9, 7, and 3. All right.
Yeah.
So when do you eventually go back to mom?
I don't know the exact time that my mom was in the hospital. I know she was able to recover eventually. Thank goodness. She struggled. The only thing I remember as a kid was migraines for her. But thankfully she had function, all, cognitively and motor skills and everything like that. But yeah, there are some like, those first Christmas back together. I think she's still like a little bruised. And those are photos that like my grandma would explain to me later, like why my mom had short hair because they had to,
Yeah.
And that's not stuff I would have understood. And kind of, so in that period of time, my dad's dad really came through legally, monetarily, got him out of the mental hospital he didn't want to be in.
So first,
and because my mom didn't press charges, he was released from jail. And he promised the system that they would be the overseers of our visits. And that, and again, this is like my perspective, what I've gathered over the years.
The 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that even, because I know today the law is different. I know today that if a lady says, I'm not going to press charges, the city will.
Okay.
I know in Santa Monica that to be a fact. So if you were to say, no, I don't want to, the city says, we'll do it. And the reason they do it is because so many women fear for their life. And they're like, if I do, this guy's going to fucking come back and kill me.
Exactly.
And they believe that women say no strictly in fear. So the city then prosecutes against the person. So you don't have to do it. It's like, hey, you hit me. I said no. They're doing it. So then you're not the fucking bad guy. They are.
Yeah.
So
whatever it was, I don't know all
it's
these
just wild
details.
That you could crush someone's skull and still be let out of jail.
I know.
And so then he goes to a mental hospital. Is that what you say?
Yeah, I guess that was brief. Because I remember him complaining about that, even to me as a child. Yeah, how bad it was and all these things. And I'm like, there's so much nuts that happened there. But yeah, we had to go see him every other holiday and a whole month in the summer. That was starting at age 6 for me. So there was time there. If I'm from 3 to 6, I didn't really see him for about 3 years. So stuff was probably being litigated. My mom was healing. My mom had to try to get back to work. My mom was honored as like into the Hall of Fame of her school, like Kettering City Schools. And in her speech, it made me sob. Because I didn't know, like her going back to school was a big deal. Somebody believing in her to get her work again so she could provide for us after that incident. And she just credited her principal and how grateful she was for, having them welcome her back into the school system. And she contributed so much as a music teacher there. And she still teaches now in her retirement. She teaches
Does she?
piano. Yeah.
Oh, good.
But anyway, it's like us having to go down there and all my dad's little weird jobs. Like as a
what's
kid.
life
And
like
also he's remarried at this point.
To this lady.
To this person who's an alcoholic. And she's kind of like wild, right? She's like a radio DJ and we're like in bars and her motto in life is next page. And she's drinking a lot and my dad is standing on the street. He's doing his sign spinning thing. I think we've talked about this, but it's his own business. He's doing the leads. He was I had talked about this in another special. He was a pirate at Pirates Cove Mini Putt Golf Course.
I do remember that. Yeah. It was
I feel like I'm not being funny on this podcast at all. And I don't really, this is kind of to the point of like, I've made a lot of this funny and now you're sort of
Let them go watch the funny and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like this needed me. As I'm explaining, I'm like, this is boring.
You're doing great. It's not at all.
Yeah.
I am riveted right now.
I'm just like,
I can't believe your dad tried to kill your mom and then
and
now he's in Orlando where his family ran from him. Now he's down there and the court's making you guys go be around this man with another man who bailed him out of all of it.
A lot.
That's fucking crazy.
Even back to college when my mom had told me one time, I guess my dad plagiarized a paper and he got in trouble and his dad got him out of that. And I think it's like, I don't need to go on a tangent about accountability, but our culture we just don't live in a culture of accountability. Mm-hmm. And if we did, we would be really open to saying, you know what, I messed up. Mm-hmm. And then I'll pay the price. And if it was, I messed up and I'll pay the price, and then I was welcomed back because I did what I needed to do to understand what was wrong, it would be in a different culture entirely.
Well, also when you constantly bail your kids out. Over and over again, it doesn't surprise me that they just tried to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've been bailing this motherfucker out forever. He's never had to deal with consequences. He's never had to be accountable.
And it feels like I've talked about, like I mentioned this to you before. I've done plenty of podcasts in my comedy career. I've tried to make things that have happened to me in my childhood funny. Those visits where we had to go down there, and I'll get into that more. But there is that part of me that's like, it's not a family secret. People in our community absolutely knew about it. Church was like, the church folks at this, I'll get into this more later because that's a whole nother thing. But at the same time of them providing, like showing up with meals and clothes for us as kids, also very judgmental to the point where I remember, this is another very sad line. My middle sister said something like, Mom, do they like us here? Like not knowing, because there was that sort of tumultuousness with my dad's storyline of my mother cheating and then them later, 6 years later, marrying. Anyway, I'll get to that later. In the meantime, we're going down there. My dad has all these jobs. Even it took me a really long time to realize why my dad has all these jobs. Like I was like, he's wild, and it's like, well, he's a felon, so he can't get a job and he's not allowed to teach anymore. But that's not something you like in the same way. Like there's just stuff that you don't understand as a kid that you later go, oh,
that's why my dad's
that's
a pirate.
Why you're a pirate. Yeah. That's why we're putt-putting for free. And again, I'm not saying people don't deserve second chances or something like that, but it was kind of wild. And my mom's fortitude is insane. To take 3 little girls to the airport. I mean, she would spray her perfume on my little bunny so I could sleep with it.
You're killing me.
You know what I mean?
I can't imagine putting
on a
3
plane,
little girls by
flying,
themselves.
Yeah, my sisters also, if there was 2 seats in one, they always made me sit in the one.
Did they really?
Yes.
You had to be the one?
Because I was annoying.
Yeah.
But then I would make friends with that person, or so I thought. But yeah, so we're going down there. I've talked about this recently. This is all coming to light because it's like I have so many stories about my dad, so many wild stories and what I was able to make sense of and make fun of and all of those things. Because I do feel like ultimately things that have harmed me, confused me, fascinated me, I do find power in making somebody laugh about it. Like I do get something out of that. It's probably, to be cheesy, probably healing in some way, probably taking my power back in some way to be like, let me make you laugh.
Yep.
Like an old joke where I was like, my dad always chose my stepmother over me and my sisters. And I get it. She gave him head and all we had were questions. You know what I mean? So it's just sort of like, I've always been able to try to make those things funny. And ultimately our visits down there were sort of like, she would be like, let's take you on a shopping spree. And then we were like, whoa, like those early days, they would have to come up to Ohio before we were allowed to go. So there was some transition happening. It wasn't just like throwing us on a plane. But it wasn't really enough. We had court-ordered therapy, so Dr. Pam, like for sure, helped my mom in a huge way, helped me and my sisters in a way. And years later, when
Dad's flipping fucking signs and putt pirate and shit, and he ain't going to any goddamn therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone
in fact,
else
he's
is.
married an alcoholic whose motto in life is next page.
Right. I chose Function because it's the only health platform that gives me data most people never get and the insights to start doing something about it. Inside Function, you get access to test over 100 plus biomarkers, from hormones to toxins to markers of heart health, inflammation, and stress. For an additional fee, you can also access MRI and chest CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. With the seasons changing and kids heading back to school, you know it's prime time for getting sick, and real preparation starts inside the body before that first fever or cough knocks you down. With access to biomarkers impacting immunity, you can see where your body may need backup before illness creeps in. Things like vitamin D, zinc, cortisol, and more. Access to these biomarkers can help you identify weak spots and act before an illness takes you down. Listen, I am on this health kick now. After all the stuff, it's been 2 years. I've gotten my weight down. I go get blood work done twice a year. I still have to meet with an oncologist, all this stuff. So I wanted to know everything that's going on in my body. I went and got the CT scan. I've gone even further than that. I've gotten all kinds of my blood work and everything done, and it's never been better, y'all. Kaboom. Don't just brace for winter. Prepare for it. Start testing so you can stay strong through the season ahead. Listen to me. Go do this. Your genetics are your genetics. Go do this. Even if you don't talk to people in your family anymore, this will tell you what you need to know. Learn more and join using my link. Function is a near 360 view to see what's happening in your body, and my first 1,000 listeners get a $100 credit toward their membership. Visit www.functionhealth.com/honeydew or use gift code honeydew100 at sign up to own your health. Did you know there's an online cannabis company that ships federally legal THC right to your door? And they found a way to combine THC with carefully selected functional ingredients to target nearly every mood and health concern you can think of. I'm talking about Mood.com's incredible line of functional gummies, and you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code Honeydew. Mood's functional gummies are optimized to kick in as little as 15 minutes and take you to the mood you're looking for. Whether that's Mind Magic gummies for deep work and creativity, PMS support to ease cramps and balance mood swings, or their sexual euphoria gummies to help you feel ready for action. And everything ships discreetly right to your door. No dispensary lines, no awkward conversations, just better days and nights delivered to your doorstep. Best of all, not only is every mood product backed by a 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners are getting 20% off their first order with code Honeydew. So head to Mood.com, find the functional gummy that matches exactly what you're looking for, and let Mood help you discover your perfect mood. And don't forget to use promo code Honeydew when you check out to save 20% on your first order. Now, let's get back to the do.
So he's coming up and had to go to some sessions with us. And all he wants is time with us and to see us. And why can't we come visit? And I'll take you to Disney and, all this fun stuff. My mom's here in Ohio, like working, at the church still, at school as a teacher, and being like, yeah, I'll send you down to Orlando to go to Disney World, but she never, that's the thing. She never said terrible things. She did her best to just stay on her side of the street and be our mom and be there for us and listen. But that's so complicated, And I think we're all going something...
Especially after someone who tried to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, it's complicated to have a family split apart for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
And still be mature,
right,
and co-parent moving forward.
Exactly.
To fucking have to put the fact that this man put physical hands on you and tried to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
He just was unsuccessful.
And my sister
like
probably...
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I know.
Thank God. Thank God your dad wasn't good at his job.
Exactly. For real.
And your mom has to be kind. Like, that's...
And she was.
That's the one time you'd be like, I understand
I
this
know.
lady right now. Like, this guy tried to kill her. It's not he cheated or stole money or whatever. Like, this man.
And he did do that. He did.
I'm sure.
He left my mom in tons of credit card debt.
Whew, your mom's a fucking saint.
But that's the thing. I'm always like, my mom is an angel. I remember like as a kid, she would take naps after teaching because she was so tired and had to take me to daycare at like 5 before. And I would lay there just watching her chest go up and down because I was so scared I was going to lose her. I never want to, I scary that I was ever going to lose my mom again. So I had that fear. But she has heart-shaped nostrils. And I would just like stare there, watching her chest go up and down. I was like, I think my mom's an angel. She has heart-shaped nostrils. But yeah, I'm like, she had to have so much strength to get through that. And then I wonder sometimes too, it's like, should she have said something bad? But like, we had to go. So it would have just scared us. Like, it was all so many confusing feelings, and we were all having different feelings at different ages for different reasons.
Her own confusing feelings. Like, oh, am I sticking these kids on a fucking plane to go see a man and try to kill
my sister
them?
till this. So I've had plenty of time, and not to mention as adults,
me diarrhea.
Yeah, not to mention as an adults, the choices we made because of what we went through,
Mm-hmm.
and we've all done that in different ways. My oldest sister very much overcorrected for what happened, and is like, that won't happen in my house. You do this, this, or this, you're gone. Like, she's very rigid, and she's with her high school sweetheart, same guy, pretty much her whole life. My middle sister, different pattern, several different kids from different guys, and sort of like. That's a whole nother story in itself, and the reason we do the things we do. I genuinely don't judge my sister whatsoever. She's a great person, but me, as you probably are familiar, I've chosen abusive people in my life. So it's like, just when you think, well, that I saw what happened, so I won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're just a magnet being hurled at a fridge, being told not to stick, and it's like, I'm headed for this apparently. And I don't know why I chose what I've dated multiple alcoholics. I don't
have, huh?
Yeah. So I'm just sort of like,
any other sign flippers?
No sign flippers.
Just one.
But that's the confusing part to me, because my dad doesn't do drugs or alcohol, never has.
That's how you know that it is crazy.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
But he's chosen this alcoholic. We're around him all the time.
So he doesn't drink with. It's not like he picked up drinking with her.
No.
Oh, so he just maintained who he was the entire time.
Found an alcoholic. And she did have money. Like, I don't think she's a rich person, but she had money, and he was also doing his thing. But I think he gave her a lot of credit maybe for helping get us down there. But I also think our grandparents contributed to that. Anyway,
are you seeing his parents?
Yes,
when you're down there as well?
Lot. You are. Yeah, and one of his sisters, my aunt Retta, was also really a stronghold for me down there, because I would go to her art studio and paint. She was like a mother figure for me down there. I've had times in my life where my dad has done or said things to me that are awful as an adult, and I'm not talked to him for a while. My 2 older sisters haven't really done that.
They still
until recently. Until this last time that he was really weird to me in January. They've actually sort of in solidarity not spoken to him.
Okay.
And I guess only recently did they, because I've blocked his number, so I wouldn't know if he was trying to call, but they haven't. So they see that he's trying to call and won't pick up, because we were just not sure what to do. And then I found relief in blocking it, because I don't need to feel guilt because I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you about that story in a second. But my sister has found, both of them have found relief in not picking up. And I guess over the last couple of weeks, he's stopped trying. We did get one email from my stepmother, which I can read you in a bit after I explain the other story. Okay. But my sister lately they're dealing with these feelings of like, man, we should have done this sooner.
Mm-hmm.
All at different points in our lives, we've all gone back to Dr. Pam, who was our court-ordered therapist.
When you were children?
Yeah. We've all found her number in some separate way to go back to her. So that is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Without telling each other you were doing this?
Yeah.
Wow. And she never said, oh, I actually saw your sister, spoke to you. I guess she can't.
No.
Right? Yeah.
And my mom has too. So because she knows our whole story, she knows everything.
Sure.
And at one point, I guess she said to my sister, like, I can't believe you have maintained a relationship with him this long. Like, you don't owe that person anything, And I think my sister's feeling guilt for not reporting that we were being driven drunk as children by our stepmom. I think she's feeling, and my mom is like, I can't believe I was sending you down to that. Because in the grand scheme of things, of course, I don't know, people can probably relate to this, where I go, well, I wasn't getting molested. I didn't have cigarettes burned on me. You know what I mean? I
can always be worse.
Yeah.
Right.
But there were plenty of times where she could have killed, she's drinking straight vodka in a red Solo cup driving us.
Oh shit. Literally drinking and driving.
Because my dad would take a sip and go, like my sister saw him do that once. And also we just, she drank a lot. And those were my first stories in stand-up. She took us, this is actually sort of thing I'm working into my newest hour, which is like, they would take us to Margaritaville, huge kid spot. And
big kid spot.
She would get drunk. And one of my early stories in stand-up was she picked up salt and was flicking it at me and my sisters and saying, just in case, I'm just trying to protect your father, just in case you girls are vampires. And then as a 22-year-old, the punchline was like, wrong seasoning, it's garlic, But that was one of those stories I told. And eventually they got back to her and she did call me drunk one time and said she wasn't drinking anymore. And she's like, I'm not drinking anymore. So if you can stop talking about me on stage. And I did it. And because I'm me and I don't want to I don't really want to upset anybody. I was like trying to make people laugh, sort through it. I did stop because there was a part of me too at 22 that was like, I want to be a comic and I don't want her to be a part of any of my success. So I did. I stopped. And then in this new special that's coming out, I have one line about it a little bit. And then the new one I'm going to, in the Landlord Special, there's a mention of her drinking because I also felt warranted going down there in January. I was on the road opening for Sarah Silverman at the Hard Rock.
We're talking about.
This is January of 2025. And my dad's never seen me do stand-up in 18 years that I've done it. Part of that is my doing.
Okay.
Because I didn't really want him there.
Mm-hmm.
I had gone to Florida a couple times and told him the show was canceled. But then I would visit him, say hi, and all of that.
So you're seeing him. He's just not
I just didn't want him in the crowd, really. And this time I was like, fine, I don't know, So he came, one of his sisters who I like, my aunt Rebecca, and my aunt Retta, who I mentioned to you before, that was pivotal in my childhood down there, feeling safe and loved.
So even though that's her brother and she knows what he did, she was still a strong one for you?
Retta was, yeah. And Rebecca too. I mean, Rebecca was also stuck in a lot of it. There's a lot of complicated stuff around there. He has a lot of siblings. Another one of them really didn't like my mom and continued up until like not long ago to believe that my mom cheated on him. And it's like, I don't know. There's some weirdness around that for sure. And there's so many complicated things because as an adult, stuff has happened also to my sisters that it all sort of links back. And so yeah, I was like, Sarah knows a lot about my dad. And I was like, do you want him to come back? I don't really care. And she was like, I'm a little curious.
Good Sarah Silverman.
So, and she, we had him come back. He gave Sarah his business card, kissed her hand.
Wait.
He kisses her hand.
What's the business card,
it says it's his business, his sign spinning business. He wanted to promote the show, but lately he been promoting.
He wanted to sign spin the Sarah Silverman coming to Florida.
Yes. And
he's doing that for your special?
He's been doing that for my specials, which these are part of the complicated feelings. Cause like I have these stories. These are true stories. He used to feed raccoons. Like a bear came, like we witnessed it all. It's funny. Also, like, why does he do that? Animals don't give notes. Animals don't like talk back. It's a way for you. Yeah. So, and he's done that with a lot of animals. And his own dog, he treats like a little human being. He's like almost, I'm pretty sure he's killed several wiener dogs by feeding them lunch meat. They like get really sick. He thinks it's a treat. Anyway. But yeah, he brushes their teeth. He treats it like a little human being.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's there. In the times that he's not sign spinning for my special, he's been out there with a Trump sign, which also is incongruent with some of his sister's beliefs. They don't like that. Mm-hmm. But he is sort of that target demographic. He watches Fox News, which has been proven to be a TV program. He kind of gets wrapped up in that. And those talking points. Me and my sisters are not someone who voted for Trump or would believe in those things. And in fact, to us, it's like very anti-woman. That is someone who's now, as of late, for sure, double down convicted of rape. And I'm like, that is a kind of like a line in the sand for my sister recently, to be like, you're out there with a Trump sign after everything you've done to women and you're supporting this man and our rights are being are at risk. It just feels incongruent and upsetting to have 3 daughters that you constantly say you're so proud of, and then you're voting against their well-being and rights.
I mean, he tried to kill your mom. Is anybody surprised?
Right. And I think that's, yeah. So he's out there with that sign. It upsets his sisters because they're like, that's weird.
But I'm sorry. So he alternates between Trump
My
and
special and a Trump sign. Some of these Trump people are going to be watching If You Didn't Want Me Then being like, who's this liberal feminist?
Oh my God. He's doing
Bit of a switcheroo, really.
It's so polar. Oh, shit, man.
So I'm
if
like,
he loves Trump that much and he's still flipping your side, all that says is I feel so guilty about never being there for my dog. At least I can do is spin some carbs.
Right.
Is he good at it? Is he even good at it?
I mean, he gets up on a ladder. He does less sign spinning and more like yelling and saying things. And there's less spinning, really. I don't know how. How
old is he now?
Gotta be 74 or
How
something.
many 74-year-old sign flippers are out there these days?
I don't know. He sometimes gets up on a ladder, which I guess is illegal in some parts of Orlando.
Okay.
And
All
yeah.
right, sorry.
So, no, you're fine. So I feel like I'm talking so much. The point is,
You're supposed to.
Okay. I go down there in January.
Yes, Sarah, the business card.
We had this moment with Sarah. It actually is fine. It's kind of like a non-event. His wife is there. Still,
I was just about to ask.
Yeah. So we've been told by our dad that she doesn't drink anymore. I agreed to go to dinner with them and my aunts and their significant others the next night. So the following evening. And my stepmother is in a back brace now. She's had a lot of health problems. They won't say cirrhosis, but it's like every symptom leading to cirrhosis. It would be like if I was sitting here with red dots all over my face and I was like, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, and I'm itching. You're like, well, you very clearly have chickenpox. I was like, no, I don't. So it's like all the symptoms of cirrhosis. She has bands on her throat. And
are they going to a doctor where it's been told to them?
I guess
or are
they go
just
to
ignoring it?
I think they go to, I forget what they said. My middle sister is actually an NP, nurse practitioner. So this is no shade to NPs, but I think that's who they go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much they share with, this is actually where it starts, is we're sitting at dinner. We go to Indian, of course, because it's everybody's favorite meal and our grandmother has now passed. And so we don't get it. So we go to Indian. Everyone's there. I walk in. My dad has already given the waiter my business card, which he's made of me.
Wait, it's not even you.
He gives out business cards of me.
That he's made.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. I'm
Who
like,
the fuck does that?
I don't know.
Who is still giving out business cards in 2020?
And here's something he said to me too. He's like, it gives me life's purpose. Is it okay if I still keep doing it? Now I haven't talked to him in a really long time because I blocked his number after.
Not to hug you. Not to talk to you.
No.
Not to say, hey, I'm sorry. Not to say, would you like to tell me about what a piece of shit I was and just get it all out.
Or to my mom's point, she was like, I'll tell you what he said next. So this guy has my business card. He's like, this is sweet Indian guy who, I don't know how to put it. Like, he's for sure able to speak English and stuff, but he's explaining like he is newer here and he's excited to be here. And he's like showing me his phone. Like, I followed you on Instagram. Like you told me to. Like he's being this really nice.
Like he told me to.
Yeah. So I'm feeling terrible for this young man who's like trying to talk to somebody like, again, this guy's just trying to be nice and serve us. And I decide to, I order my food. We're sitting down. Instead of maybe
Can
like.
I ask you, what do you get? What do you like?
I do like chicken biryani a lot.
Okay. I don't know what that one is. What is that?
It's like it's curried rice, basmati
chicken.
rice, and chicken, and it's more of like all sort of mixed in, I would say, as opposed to like sometimes like chicken tikka masala is very popular, for example.
Like that, yeah.
That would be like the curry and the chicken, and then you put on top of like white basmati rice or maybe saffron rice or something. But the biryani is I think all cooked together.
Okay.
There's different types of it, but yeah, more of like if I had to relate it to like chicken fried rice or something like that, like all baked in.
There used to be this
I'm not an expert. Plus, India is so huge. Sometimes when I go to an Indian restaurant, I don't even know what to order because I'm like, the thing my grandma made?
Right.
Like my grandma's never saying like,
this is
here's
called,
your sag paneer.
Yeah.
It's just like out for everybody to serve.
There used to be a place in LA called Nirvana. Did you ever go to that
No.
one? And it was like a real sexy LA restaurant. And it was Indian food, but all the tables were like beds.
Oh.
So you could take you're not getting freaky, but I'm saying you're laying on it. Everyone's laying and just eating and laying down and munching. But they had a fucking crab tikka masala that I still think about.
I bet.
I still think
Well,
about.
my evil grandpa used to eat it with his hands like you're supposed to.
I don't like
I think you're not supposed to go above
is that
the
right?
knuckle.
You're supposed to eat with your hands?
Yeah.
Oh, your left hand?
Yeah.
Oh, no, your right hand
He
because
spoke
you wipe with
some
your left.
Telugu as well, but it's such a massive country.
Okay,
all
I'm sorry.
I know is that I like
derailed
Southern.
you. I wanted to know. So you're all having
To be
dinner.
honest with you, to your question, that's the first time we've been to an Indian restaurant. I was like, I'm going to order this. We were all trying to, like, there are grown adults who had it their entire lives and they're trying to figure out, I'm like, I wonder what's closest to grandma's. And I'm talking to my aunt who's right here. And I actually chose the one that ended up being very similar to what my grandma made. So I was like, take note of this, you guys. So next time you can order, I mean, I'll never go back. But I was like, this is the one. So we did find something that was very similar. And I can't remember the name of it, of course. But I had an Indian beer per the nice waiter's recommendation.
Guy following you? Mm-hmm.
The guy who's so
Your
kindly
new follower?
followed me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and I haven't seen him in years, or my stepmother who's across from me in a back brace because I guess she's broke her back driving a car for too long.
She's got the osises, scoliosis, cirrhosis.
So many things. I have
a
no
lot of
clue,
osises.
Also, like, I haven't figured out how to work this in, but like one summer we were there, she chose to get a bunch of plastic surgery. And it's like, again, speaking to the point where you, as an adult, you look back, you're like, interesting, right? Your husband's kids are never here, really. So while they're visiting, you choose to do something to yourself that requires him waiting on you hand and foot.
Oh, she did it while you were...
It's just like, that's not something I would have considered as a kid. As a kid, I'm going, oh, I'm scared because her head's all wrapped up. And she was like, do you want to feel where the liposuction tubes went in? And I was like, and I'm like 9. And she just grabbed my hand and...
she put it in like the hole?
Yes.
Oh,
it's like
shit.
a little Fruit Loop that's like under there.
Oh, shit.
I mean, honestly, these are, I think, like, there's so much that relates to like what happens to you as a kid as to why you choose to do what you do. And it's like, I'm aging naturally. I don't want to do anything to my body or plastic surgery. Like, I'm pretty stalwart about that. And I'm just, it's just so interesting the choices I make because of what I've seen. And again, hers isn't aging well. I mean, when you're drinking so much, that's already not going to age you well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sucking out fat instead of like doing maybe working out or things, you know, the more traditional way, it's just going to come back. And it did. And yeah, I mean, she's not looking well, you know, sort of like a scoop of mashed potatoes with googly eyes and a back brace. That was mean. And I'm sitting across from her and my dad's here. He like teared up a little when I first sat down, which makes me uncomfortable a little. I know he loves me very much. It's like pretty effusive and over the top. And often it's like infantile love. Like it'll be very like kissy and I guess what's the other word I'm looking for? Like kind of treating me like a child, which I know some people are like that. It's not like I'm like mean or something, but he's very much like that. So then we're sitting there and he starts talking about his doctor's visit because my aunt's husband was talking about some skin cancer he had to have removed or something. I don't know how this came up. And he's a normal guy. And he was like, you should get that checked, Bert, because my dad is always out in the sun and yada, yada. He also wears over-the-top Oakley sunglasses.
The razors?
Yeah, that you like put right here.
Yeah.
He refuses to take them off. My oldest sister makes him, the one I told you who's very strict. She's like, you will not see my children in those. But he's wearing them at the dinner table not because I don't have
dinner table, he's got them on?
He tells waitresses they're x-ray. He didn't tell this nice Indian fellow that, but
that's his little.
Yeah. So it comes up that my dad, he's like, oh no, I'm not going to the doctor about that. I'm fine. He's like, we see I think he was talking about that MP. And then he's like, and she I just had my first anal exam, something like this, like a finger up my butt is what he says. This is dinner table.
How many people are we talking at the dinner table in public?
2 aunts, their significant others, and my dad and stepmother.
And you,
me.
7
So,
of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's sitting there like a scoop, you know, of mashed potatoes. Like, you know, he orders her a drink. I'm shocked because my dad has told me that she doesn't drink anymore for the last however long I haven't seen him. So I'm like, interesting. He says the anal thing. I'm like, okay. She starts looking at me and goes, he loves it. He loves anal. Like whispering this to me.
Okay, but also, first of all, that is fucking disgusting. This mashed potato lump is just whispering it at the table.
Whispering it to me.
At you. But does she mean he likes being pegged or he likes to give it to her?
I don't know.
Because he liked the finger. So when
right.
she says he loves it, does that mean
I think he likes ass play. So she keeps doing this to me to the point where I'm like, ew, you know?
It just keeps saying it.
Yeah, maybe before this, I should say they did talk about, of course, their wiener dog, who I've mentioned. They have several, like we love Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. They always have wiener dogs.
Got it.
They did. I said, "How is he?" or whatever, Joey. She's like, "He's fine." She goes, "Do you know what he is?" And I said, "A hostage." And
do they laugh at you, or
she
they
hated
just
that.
keep going?
No, I mean, honestly, she may have done the anal thing in retaliation. Yeah, and he goes, he didn't like it either, and he was like, "Hey," and he goes, "But you know what? Why I love him?" And I said, "Because he doesn't give notes." So I was being a little incendiary.
That's okay.
And then
you have a right to be.
Yeah,
you're there.
I was being a little, but also they're just kind of like, maybe she asked where I was touring next, or my aunt did. My aunt said like, "Where's the farthest you've been?" And I may have said like, "Oh my gosh, you know, Dubai was this crazy gig." Then they bring it back to Dr. Anal. She's whispering that. And I'm a grown adult now. So I am, and thank goodness I've been doing stand-up for 18 years. So I can actually, for the most part, like pop off when I need to, if someone's like saying something shitty to me. So I go, why don't you tell everybody else what you're telling me right now?
Oh, because she's still just keeping it to you.
She's trying to just say it to me, which I find is so weird. And then she's like, what? It doesn't make you uncomfortable that your dad and I are sexually active at this age?
Oh,
and then
with a back brace on. She's got a back brace. I just want to remember we got that visual.
She's a full back brace that's black, like from here to here. I'm like, is doggy style when you fall over and just lay there? Anyway, so I'm uncomfortable.
She might have hurt her back.
Yeah,
giving it to your dad. Yeah.
So then, she's like, I bet that you don't talk about this stuff with your mom. Which, by the way, she should never mention my mother. Like,
yeah, it's not a competition either.
No. I mean, if you shot off a gun, I'm going to sit at the starting line. You go ahead. No one's racing for this man. Like, she's always been so oddly competitive. Part of me feels like she's so drunk when we were kids. She just thought we were like random bachelorettes my dad invited back. There's no competition. Do you know what I mean? We're here because we actually are made to be here. It's weird. You know, the minute we were all emancipated at 18, no one was coming back.
You never went again. So you did have to go all the way to 18.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There was later.
That's your whole fucking childhood.
There was later when my sisters would get out of it and my dad didn't push. Like they were like, I want to go to camp or field hockey camp. We all played hockey and stuff like that. And so they did kind of pull away. There is a lot of guilt involved though for us. Like, cause there were times where we would go back for his dad's funeral, for example, we went. And in the morning of the funeral, we were just down there for that brief time. We were like, Dad, do you want to go get breakfast in the morning afterwards? And he was like, oh, I can't, you know, Kay wants eggs. His wife wants eggs. And so he like didn't spend it. So he's always like sort of will cater to her. And it's odd, right? Anyway, this anal thing's happening. She's saying stuff about my mom. And I go, no, my mom and I don't talk about that because we have healthy boundaries. She's like, well, does it make you uncomfortable? We have sex? And I go, no, I just don't need to hear about it. And I said, because can I cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I said, we just don't need to hear about it. I said, I looked at her because I go, it's fucking disgusting. And then I go, I need to go to the bathroom. And I'm like kind of shaking at this point because it's like so odd. He's laughing. Oh, and she's like, he'll try anything. She keeps going on and on. Like the whispering kept happening. She was like, any ED medication. He's always asking our nurse practitioner, like, how can I get Cialis, Viagra? He's always asking for all the ED stuff. Like, so I'm like, you know what I mean? You know, when you're like buzzing, I get up, I start texting Megan, my oldest sister. She's like, you know, it almost started to make me emotional because I'm angry and I kind of want to cry. And my sister's like, this is disgusting. You don't deserve this. We choose you. We'll always choose you. Because he's always said stuff to me. It'll be about my acne or if I've gained weight, or he's always said stuff to me. And my sisters, I think, are finally maybe in this way standing up for me a little bit because it's like a slot machine. I think this is like a behavioral psychologist reference, but as long as, even though he couldn't hit me anymore, he could still hit them. So he was getting that fix. And when they stopped after this incident in January, he started sort of unraveling
spiraling a little bit because he doesn't have the outlet anymore.
Yeah, and then we got this email from my step
the step mashed potatoes.
Yeah, step taties.
Step taties.
Okay, so it says, first of all, to me one of the funniest parts was it was to me and my oldest sister, and she said, "Please copy Hannah, our middle sister."
That's the subject line.
Yeah. Also, the other time she emailed us was when our dad fell off the roof, and the subject line
From
was
the
"Bert
sign?
hit the deck."
Bird hit the deck is what it
I know.
said.
Anyway, that was years ago. Your dad is very sad that he's not been able to reach you. Whatever rift between you needs to be put aside. Think about how you would feel if your dad died tomorrow. It's like, we've actually already been there. And if you knew him, you'd know that we've actually already experienced that many times.
Guess what? We also had to think about what if our mom died tomorrow because she's in the hospital right now recovering from a fractured skull from the man you married.
I know.
I'm sorry. How the fuck did they meet?
I forget. It might have been like line dancing or something.
And they've just been together ever since.
Yeah, he enables her.
Do you think he's faithful to her?
Yeah.
Do you think the ED medication isn't for her?
I don't know. I think
That's what I'm
he
thinking
is
when
faithful.
I heard that you do.
Similar to your point, though, my aunt, who I am his sister, that I have a relationship with, both of them, did say like if she passes, like she's pretty sure as quick as he can, he'll find someone else.
All right, I'm sorry.
No,
Please go ahead.
He's going through a lot with me, and he hides his sadness with me, trying to keep my spirits up. Since December, I've been going through multiple, and then it says like chiroplasties with 4 different painful procedures. I learned this week I have a cement embolism on my right lung. I'm going to multiple doctors with little assurance of survival rate. Love your dad and wanted to let you know what's going on and hope that you will be there for him. So my sisters were like, we're not going to reply. And I replied immediately. And I said, it's crazy to think you're having all these health issues from decades of alcohol abuse because dad told us many years ago that you stopped drinking. Plus, you were regaling me just a few months ago with all of the sex and specifically ass play that you loved to do together.
You wrote reply all.
No response.
Nothing for that.
My sister,
I thought you were nothing.
Oh, no. And I don't think she ever told or showed my dad. That's the thing. It's like that's part of it too, where I'm like, and he doesn't know how to email or even barely text. He has on his Instagram, it's like one shot of where he used to cater and then one black tile square. And I promise you, it wasn't for Black Lives Matter. It was an accident. That was a pocket upload, But so he doesn't know how to, he watches my stories. I see that. But it's not meant to hurt him. I'm not trying to hurt him.
No, you're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah, I'm just I'm done.
How many
love
years
my dad.
of it? That's what I'm saying
grateful.
about the people that need help. Like, so do the people that want to help them.
Yeah. Well, also, that's the point. My sister, there's so many times, so many in between things from what I've obviously shared. We're talking for, a short period of time. My oldest sister did offer, because there was a breaking point for him with her drinking, or he said, I do want to leave if she doesn't stop drinking. Bizarrely, my oldest sister was like, if you do that, I can give you a place to stay if you want to make that move, which I was like, wow.
But also,
she also
calling
had
his bluff a bit too.
Like, yeah, and he didn't, of course.
Yeah, no.
And she was the one who was taking her kids down there to see him. They'd meet at Disney. They would never go to his house or anything like that. But she was trying to give them a relationship with them, which I think she's reevaluated now. I think there's a lot of biology there involved. I'm the only one that has gone long stretches not talking to him. And I don't mean it like, because I'm so strong. It's because he's done or said things to me that are deeply hurtful. And I have tried to repair things and tried to talk about things. And in some ways he has openly said in a very, like, I remember I gave him one of those books, that you could get, like, your daughter would give you, like, for you to fill out. And it would be like, my favorite memory with, and you would fill out the thing so she could have it forever. Like, I remember when you were born, I remember one of the things he wrote in there, I don't know if it was a regret or something, but he just straight wrote attempted murder. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not that he's ignoring that happened, but he still holds on to his story that my mom was cheating and all these things, which again, she wasn't.
Even if she was, you don't deserve to be murdered.
No. And of course the fact
daily.
that my mom married him for a couple of, I of course have stories about him too, that he's not my mom's second husband, which she's now divorced from. They lasted for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And that ended up being not good either. Not as bad, but that caused a lot of problems in the church because he was married. So he divorced his wife. Then my mom and him get together. The church is looking down on them for multiple reasons, but he was the music director. And that was a whole nother mess a little bit in the community, which is why my sister was like, do they like us here? But yeah, I mean, there's still, my mom wasn't with him for that long, but it wasn't really applicable to my dad's story like he thought it was. He was not in a place where he would remember things perfectly well, or whatever you want to say.
So what are you moving forward? What do you think? Are we just blocking him until we hear
Yeah.
he's gone?
I don't know. I'm kind of like working with like, I don't know.
Or do you think she's going to pass first with the health issues, and then all of a sudden he's going to want to pop up now? He's got nothing else to do. Here I am. And can I
he's
be in
made
your life
excuses
again?
they've both used the dogs that they have to not be able to come to things for many years. Even when they would fly up for our graduations, for example, she would stay at the hotel room with the dog because he couldn't be alone. I'm sure that was to drink. And to also maybe she may look, we're all human beings. She might have also said, I don't want to make things weird, or I don't want to be there. I don't know. Okay. But she would probably drink in the hotel and be with the dog. But
how do you think
he
this ends?
has not come to things because he'll be like, the dog, and I have to take care of her. So you're right. When his sister's worried because he doesn't pay the bills. He doesn't know how to do anything. And she's like, and she said, and I'm not in a place to do that because she took care of their mom for
he
10 years.
He could just end up being homeless and not even know how to do anything.
It's very possible.
Well,
yeah.
if someone's been taking care of him his whole life, from his dad to her, it sounds like.
Yeah. And he does a lot of things, like, he's very capable of cleaning and laundry and dishes. He does a lot of those things. He has OCD and, that's also a root of probably some of mine. But, yeah. So it's not that he can't like take care of himself or things. He's good at that. But, yeah, when it comes to anything electronic or bills or
children,
right,
families,
yeah, he's not going to know how to do it.
Responsibility,
and his sister was like, "I can't do it," and I said, "No one expects you to."
No, hell no.
You gotta
and you should
learn how to pick up a phone and say, "How do I pay this?" or whatever's going on. Even somebody was like, "Well, what about inheritance or something?" I was like, "In what? I was never expecting anything.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you're talking about. That's not a reason to keep in touch with somebody."
No,
but yeah, I don't know the end plan. My sister. I need to call my sisters because today is Monday and yesterday was Father's Day to date this.
Didn't know communication.
They didn't reach out. When I said, "What are you going to do?"
He didn't reach out.
I said he used to call us on Father's Day because we wouldn't really. Anyway, my oldest sister said, "I'll pick up if he calls and explain why I haven't been speaking to him." She said, "But I don't really plan to call."
And he didn't call?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet today.
Oh, I see.
But my middle sister, I think, has had relief in not dealing with it because she's got a lot of her own crap going on right now as a result of things that she deals with and our genetics and our choices that, have fueled us for whatever reason of everything, complex PTSD or whatever it is, depression. So it's like we've all been in places that for sure can be linked back. I'm a very aware person. I'm the last person who wants to be like, well, I hurt you because this happened to me as a child. Like that doesn't really fly with me. If you're dating somebody and they're like, well, I did this because my dad X, Y, or Z. It's like, you're an adult now. So I'm very aware, probably too aware of my choices and who I choose and why I choose them. But I think there's, some people who come to that later. And at this point, it wasn't serving me to keep picking up the phone call. It was awkward, annoying, a chore. And he was just kind of a wind-up toy. Same thing over and over again, giving us updates on someone who's dying of alcoholism. It's like, does hospice give updates? Because I think I know the end of the story. I don't need a play-by-play of death.
Right.
I just don't. Also, I know it's, alcoholism is a family disease, but it's also a result of this motion. So I'm like, this is something that we all saw coming. I don't know how else to help you feel better about it. And I feel relief in not having to pick up the phone.
Good.
I think he's also not things. Your chemicals change as you age. I don't know what's going on with him.
But there's a lot to be said too about that as well. Like, look, just because they're your parents or vice versa, if a kid's being like this to their parents and your dad as a child, like, I don't blame his dad and mom at some point for going, fuck it.
Yeah, we're leaving.
And same with kids, man. It doesn't matter that we're in our 40s or 50s. If our parents are shit listen, if you're better off without them, then you're better off without them. That's just the way it is. And you've been fighting to keep them in your life for so long. And you're a good person. I hear it in your heart. I hear it in your words. I can tell when it comes out. I see it in your mannerisms. Yeah, it's weird to talk
about it. It's not that I'm against talking about it. It's not like, I have to keep these things a secret. But it's my deep desire to make it funny. And I feel like, oh God, I wasn't funny. And it's like, I am sharing other people's stories too. I don't really, my dad has always been like, it's your life. Whatever happened to you, you can talk about it. But when it comes to like my sisters, I try to make things funny for them and their choice. Like I'm always trying to like.
You're a caretaker.
Yeah, You're
a people pleaser.
Yes, I don't want to hurt
comes
people.
From that shit too, yes.
I don't want to hurt people by talking about it.
I remember what it fucking feels like when I got that.
Yeah. So I don't want to be hurtful. It's not like I don't get joy. I will say for sure, if I'm a little mean about my stepmom,
that's the other thing.
I would argue that yes, sometimes I'm probably being a little bit.
Yeah, but you're not overly like rooting against them or vindictive.
No.
Or you haven't been like, I'm so funky and none of that.
No. But yeah, I think it's hard because I'm like, yeah, it's weird to talk about something that affected so many people.
I'm so sorry. I'm just also like, if somebody told me about my mom and anal, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
And I did. I said, it's fucking disgusting. And then I got it from the table and went to the bathroom.
Like, I'm never getting that out of my head. You know that, you back brace mashed potato bitch.
I know. Also, thank goodness for my aunt's significant others because we were driving home together.
I was going to say, did anyone be like, hey.
Oh my God. My aunt's boyfriend her husband was so funny. He's like, people who talk like that, especially at a family dinner and have to brag or regale you with their sex stories are usually not having that actually happening.
Yeah.
He was like, and then he goes, I wonder if the back brace has lace.
Lace.
Like lingerie you can attach to it. But yeah, I'm like, it's just not something you need to brag about if it's actually happening. And I find it weird. One time I will say and also like to infantile, what am I trying to say? Infantilize me so much, right? Like even as an adult sitting there. And talking about when I was a kid and stuff. And then to also say the anal stuff to me, I'm like, if you want me to be very dramatic right now, that's totally child abuse and incesty to be doing that to me.
Super incesty.
Yeah. But I'm just saying I'm a grown woman.
Someone says to her, like, your dad likes to go to Pound Town up to fucking poop shoot. You'd be like, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to know that about their parents. And if you do, definitely something fucking wrong with it.
Exactly. And I even think I was like, oh, it's important. Like that's total. Like those things are healthy and part of life. I don't need to hear about them.
If there's a filter in you that doesn't exist where you're like, this is this man's daughter.
I know. I think they like being shocking. That's another thing that we talked about on the drive home.
Attention.
I think they like that shock. My dad has obviously always like that with the overtop Oakleys, walking around in mesh football jerseys, no shirt underneath.
Still?
Yeah. I forget what he was wearing that day, but it was definitely these.
I love you so much.
I love you.
I appreciate you sharing all of this. I had no idea. Beth Stelling. No wonder you're so sweet and fucking funny. Thank you. Promote one more time right here.
BethStelling.com.
Your special.
I'm always out here trying to make dark stuff funny. There's usually a story behind some of the stuff that's much darker. But yeah, BethStelling.com. I'm on tour. The Landlord Special is on Beeps.com and maybe elsewhere after August 2nd.
Other specials on Netflix and
Girl
HBO.
Daddy is on HBO. And If You Didn't Want Me Then and the stand-ups are on Netflix.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Always. And as always, Ryan Sickler on all your social media. We'll talk to you all next week.